Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
This is Questions, Coffee, and Cars 189. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put a post out asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Is it legal for dealerships to deny selling a vehicle to you if you don't agree to their forced on ads? Rust protection, packages. I was recently in a situation with Toyota where they were offering me a canceled order with a protection package, and if I didn't also agree to the package, they said I would go back on the wait list. I've since spoken to others who have experienced the same thing with Toyota. It's not only Toyota.
Yeah.
This happens all the time. There are regulatory bodies in Canada, for example, province to province. And you know what, Zach? I never really noticed the dealerships being this bad until COVID hit, where there was very little inventory. And then these regulatory bodies, they didn't seem to be on it.
Well, they had no teeth. Here's the thing is you are allowed to ask for anything you want because it's manufacturer's suggested retail price. These are independent business people that own these dealerships. So even though it says Toyota on the front of the store, it's owned by Bob or Sally or whomever owns the dealership, and they're charging what they think they can get by adding packages. The one stipulation is they have to actually advertise it with that price. So we'll pick a round number. It's a $40,000 car. They put a protection package on it. They put a wind deflector on it. They've added wheel lug nuts and rubber mats, and they say, okay, that's an extra $5,000. It's now $45,000. They have to tell you that, and they have to put it on their website, for example, at that price. If it's not that price, then they have to sell it, or they're supposed to sell it for the price that's marketed. So trust me, they know that. That's why on every single ad you see, if you click on a car available at their dealership, it'll say plus documentation fee, plus all these fees. It's their car, and you want it. Either you're going to pay them for that car or they're going to sell it to someone else.
And trust me, these Toyota dealerships, because Toyota models are so popular, that isn't being advertised. I mean, they've got somebody in the lineup next to take it and will be happy to take it for the $5,000 extra. And that's the issue, is that they know that they can sell it. So we've spoken to manufacturers about this when we go to drive events, and we've asked them, and they said, look, all we can do is suggest MSRP. If the dealership decides to do these add-ons, they can do it. They can also do things like this. I've heard from viewers who have told me that unless they have a vehicle to trade in that's of value to the dealership, they can't even be put on a wait list.
Yeah, I mean, they're business people. They're going to go with where they can maximize their return. So if they have a hot car, and they can put some things on it and then charge a whole lot more for it, and someone's dumb enough to pay for it, then they'll sell it to them. And even better, if you've got a 4-year-old RAV4 hybrid, oh, we'll take that. And we'll flip it and sell it. They're in business to make money. So the advice is go and try and find a dealer that's not doing that.
A fair dealer. I'm seriously considering the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek e-Boxer. However, I saw a video out in Australia, I think, where they said the gas mileage wasn't marginally different from the 2025 gas version. So that has me thinking maybe I buy a 2025 Crosstrek instead and save a few thousand. What are your thoughts? So you are right. The way that Subaru has designed it, they're using parts from Toyota's hybrid system, but it's really their own system. And it was important to them to have that symmetrical all-wheel drive. They wanted that in their vehicles.
Well, that's their whole thing.
Of course. So the Forester hybrid, for example, gets a combined 194 horsepower. Zach and I have reviewed that. Fantastic vehicle, but fuel economy isn't as good as if you were to buy a Toyota hybrid or even a Honda CR-V hybrid. I think that the Crosstrek is just going to have some great power after being in that Forester. It's smaller, it has the same system, and a combined 194 horsepower.
Yeah, so the one kind of complaint about Crosstrek, especially there's two engines available, the 2 and a 2.5 liter, is you want the bigger engine just because it's got more power.
Yeah.
Do they even sell the lower one anymore?
They still do, yeah.
They still do, yeah. So yes, you're not going to be getting the kind of gas or the fuel economy you would get with, say, with a Toyota hybrid. It's going to be better than the gas, but not greater, but it's going to be better driving because it's going to have almost 200 horsepower. So that's going to really make the vehicle drive better. And the big thing is, and you can't really look at the numbers and feel it, but we've driven the Forester, is that initial launch torque, because you've got electric motors providing that surge of torque when you accelerate. You just don't get that with a Crosstrek gas model. So if it's all just about price and monthly payments, do what's best for your bank account, but maybe the hybrid would be a more satisfying car to drive.
I think so. I would really, for me personally, I would wait for the hybrid, even if the fuel economy isn't, as good. Resale value, but also when you get it on the highway, it's a really refined system and the vehicle is quieter. Like we noticed that with the Forester right away. It's just quieter on the highway.
But what's this? One big but, Andrea. What's the big but?
Well, in Canada...
No. It's brand new.
Oh, it's brand new,
It's a first-year system.
It is.
So yes, it's using technology from Toyota, integrated into Subaru's technology, but it's a first year. So that's my only thing, is I want to wait and see how it holds up. You've probably got a better chance than some other brands, but there you go.
And also a couple things about that model. Yes, it's new. It also will not come with a temporary spare tire. It will have a tire repair kit because the battery is stored in the cargo area, whereas Toyota models have it under the seat. So you're going to also miss that possibly. Some people were complaining that the Forester didn't have it. Also in Canada, there's only going to be one trim, and it's going to be the top trim. So I'm not sure, obviously, what the price point is
or
going
where
to
you
be
are
of that.
if you're in Canada, US. But listen, there is nothing wrong with the regular Crosstrek. The regular Crosstrek, in our opinion, is the best subcompact crossover that's sold in the marketplace. So yeah, we're all down for Crosstrek.
Yeah.
We just think, we haven't driven it yet, but we think having driven the Forester, the extra power and the extra torque is going to be chef's kiss.
And if you are in the US, you're going to have more trim options for the hybrid for different price points, and that might work for you.
Who came up with that? Was that Chef Boyardee?
Chef Boyardee did it, yeah. I think it was.
I
Isn't
use
it
that a
hard
lot.
to believe Chef Boyardee, though?
Chef Boyardee's fake. So's Aunt Jemima.
I know.
They're all fake. So's Betty Crocker. They're all
I don't know. Who
they're all
likes
made
Chef
up.
Boyardee?
I don't know. Did you ever have it as a kid?
No.
Well, you're Italian, so you would never get Chef Boyardee in the house.
Never. But,
Beefarino. Remember that on Seinfeld? Beefarino, and he gave it to Rusty the horse. Oh. It was funny.
Terrible. We said to our kids, "You got to watch that episode. It's so funny."
Rusty.
I'm not sure Charlie found it funny, but Jack did for sure.
Okay, so Chef's Kiss. The other one that's fake is your favorite, Andrea.
What?
Haagen-Dazs. It's just a made-up name to sound posh.
Gosh, I
to
love
sell that
Haagen-Dazs
ice cream.
Ice cream. It's so
It's not. It makes it sound like it's
addictive.
like some European exclusive treat. Nah, it's just a made-up name. Haagen-Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs. Interesting.
Ben and Jerry are real.
They're real. I actually went to Vermont and had some Ben and Jerry's ice cream there. I love Ben and Jerry's too. The only thing is when it's in the freezer, because it's that cream, it's hard to dish
You
out.
need a jackhammer to get it out.
Yeah, you kind of got to leave it out for a bit. Haagen-Dazs, on the other hand, also, it is easier to get out, and it has cream. It's delicious.
Well, welcome to today. We're wearing a different outfit. The other part of the video was recorded a couple of days ago. We have breaking news. Andrea, what is it?
Wow. There is a new teaser that has just come out on the brand new 2026 Mazda CX-5. Not a lot of information. We've got pictures to show you. Doesn't tell us a lot, but what the press release did say is it's going to be bigger.
Well, the other thing is the images are quite dark.
Yeah.
So as teasers go, this is a real tease. And it doesn't take much of an imagination to say, wow, it looks a lot like other Mazda products. But there you go. So it's going to be bigger. We had guessed that already. That's the one shortfall of the current CX-5.
Yeah.
It's kind of small in the back seat and the cargo area. We're speculating that maybe it might be based on the CX-60 that's sold in Europe, but we don't know.
We don't know. They say it's going to have distinct styling, new exterior design. I don't know. The lights look similar to what we usually see from Mazda models. But the press release says it's going to be able to do your daily needs in the city, but I guess some light, not off-roading, but more like trails or gravel roads, you know, probably similar to the CX-50. Now, the global debut of the Mazda CX-5 will be on July 10th. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, so 10 days. Basically, 10 days from now is when they're going to announce the vehicle and show it to everybody. So we'll, of course, we're going to do a full video on that. So what do you, type below, what do you think of the little glimpses they've shown of the new CX-5? And we return you to the rest of the video.
Love the reviews and the QCC episodes. Thinking ahead to our next vehicle, which will likely need to have 3 rows as our family grows. We would love to go EV again, and our GM fans, any idea if there's a Traverse EV or an Acadia EV in the works? We love the Cadillac Mystique, which I jokingly call the fish stick.
I like that. How is it spelled? Let me see.
He did it like that. Fish
No, but how is it?
stick with a Q.
Vistique. I like that.
Or is it Vistic? Why can't I remember? I think it's Vistic.
Vistique. I like that.
I know, but I don't think it's called, I think
Vistique.
it's called Vistique. Yeah, Vistique. So then it's fish steak
I don't know. It's good. I
or
like
fish stick. But it's out of our price range. Anything else in the works that you two know of will have to hold out for a CPO fish stick.
Okay, I would suggest you wait, because if they've developed a 3-row platform for General Motors and they're introducing it on the Cadillac on the fish stick, it'll migrate to other brands.
Yeah.
So Chevrolet probably will have Traverse styled EV, I would almost bet.
I think
so. It's
so.
probably not going to be that far away. There are going to be more 3-row SUVs. Like you think about the Ioniq 9 and the EV9.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be others in the market as well.
I think so too. I mean, I really searched online to see maybe if Chevrolet had made an announcement. They haven't. They've got the Equinox and the Blazer, and the Blazer's a good size, but you're right, it's not a 3-row SUV, but we believe something will be coming.
Yeah, they're not going to do all of that engineering for
No.
one model. That's just not the way it works. If you look at General Motors cars, there's a lot of copy and paste in between. And you know what? They've done a really good job. I mean, a really good job of getting things that work well and using them often. And you got to hand it to General Motors. They seem to have kind of cracked the code finally with their EV strategy, because some of these vehicles are relative to other EVs are selling well.
For sure. Is the Volkswagen Tiguan with the turbo engine confirmed to be coming to Canada? And if so, when will they be rolling it out? Volkswagen tells us, yes, it's coming to the North American market and will be rolled out at the end of this year.
Little fun story there, Andrea. So I don't understand this. I heard the story and I said, oh, so you're pulling a Porsche. So Porsche has their Taycan, right? The electric car. And then they have their Turbo and their Turbo S. So what is Volkswagen? They have their Tiguan, and they're coming up with a more powerful one. It's almost 270 horsepower. Yeah. So what are they calling it? They're calling it Turbo. I got a news flash for you. All of the Tiguans are turbocharged.
They are. So it's very confusing because we explained that in our video, and some of you commented when we did review the new Tiguan that we got it right, that not a new turbo is coming. It's the turbo with a higher output. Tiguan already has a turbo engine. I think it's a good one. I think that the only issue is it's only going to be available on the top trim, which some, you know, it'll be harder to make the stretch. But if you want that extra power, which I think is going to be terrific for Tiguan, then buy that top trim.
Yeah, but it's just back to the name. So there's the R line, which has the more aggressive, assertive look with the bigger wheels and tires. Well, why didn't they just call it the R line Performance?
They could have done
or
that,
R line
yeah.
P. Calling it turbo to me, it just makes no sense. Like, why do they just, like, they have, okay, it's only sold on the R line, so R line Performance.
Yeah, it's not a great name. It's not a great name. But you know what they said when we talked to them about it not being a great name, and why did you go with turbo? They said, if Porsche can do it, why can't we?
Yeah, that's what I said. As soon as they said it, I'm like, oh, you're pulling a Porsche.
Yeah. Apologies if this has been asked before. I'm curious if there has ever been a vehicle that you and Zach reviewed where you two have had opposing views on, like a vehicle one saw as a must-buy, but the other couldn't stand behind.
That's a good question.
You know what? I don't think that it would be a specific vehicle, but maybe the features within the vehicle that I might say I really like, and Zach goes, I don't like
Well,
this.
I remember clearly there was one a few weeks ago where we did the Sportage,
Yeah.
and you were like, oh, it's kind of noisy, and I'm like, it's fine, it's totally fine. Andrew and I didn't agree on that at all.
No.
And I thought the car actually, when you're just cruising along, was really quiet, and Andrew was like, I don't find it that quiet. So we didn't agree on that, and there's features about vehicles that we don't agree on. For the most part, we share the same brain when it comes to kind of what we like and don't like, because when you do this every week, you get 2 cars a week after week, year after year. The high and low points of the cars jump out pretty quickly.
Yeah, they certainly do. There have been some, like, we were in a Compass. Was it a Compass? No, the Cherokee one time.
No, what was the noisy one?
Yeah.
Oh, that
was
the, was it a Compass?
so long ago
Anyway, it was a
now.
Jeep,
I
really
think it
loud.
was the Cherokee. Anyway,
No, it wasn't the Cherokee, it was the
I
Compass.
remember calling Zach saying, holy smokes, this is not good. And then he's like, well, I think you're exaggerating a little bit. Now, he hadn't driven it yet. And then he took it and he was like, whoa.
Well, our whole video was how loud it was. What's that?
Can't hear you, Zach.
I can't hear it. She's a loud one. Hit it.
Hasn't changed. It's still the same.
It hasn't changed. That's gold.
Yep. Yeah.
That was kind of how we joked about it. And then we said they need to change the engine, which they did the next year. They changed the engine.
And then we recently did the Passport. I wanted the green. Zach wanted the orange.
That's just style.
That's just style stuff. But definitely features and sometimes suspension where we might disagree. I would say more features, suspension, noise of the cabin. Oh, one thing that we were kind of bickering about in a video, we had the Tacoma, and it's got the JBL sound system speaker that you can remove. And I was like, oh, Zach, I would just take it out and put it in the glove box and lock it. And he's like, no, you wouldn't. And
You're
we
not
were
going to do
bickering.
that. Every time you get out of the car, you're going to take the removable speaker and put it in the glove box?
I certainly will,
no,
Zach.
No, you would not in a million years.
See,
you would
he
do
doesn't
it.
believe I would
you would do it for a day, and then you go, oh, screw that. Because the whole thing we said is when you lock the car, there should be a lock that locks the speaker in place because they're going to get stolen.
Yeah.
Those Tacomas in cities where there's a lot of theft, they will know that those JBL speakers are in there, and if you break the window, you can get the speaker out. There should be a lock in there, like when you lock the tailgate or the gas cap, something like that.
Even if they put a lock in, they would just dig them out. You know how the crooks are. They find a way. But Zach was totally against it. I'm not even sure that I would keep that JBL sound system, the speaker in there, unless I knew I was going out. Well, they have other speakers. I'd have to try it out.
You're not going to buy a car with the stereo and then have the center channel speaker missing.
I could try it once in a while and see what happens.
And by the way, Andrew's going to take it out and put it in her purse every time.
Yeah.
Sure you are.
That's what happens with women when they have a purse.
I'm going in her purse is handy.
Zach always says,
can you take my sunglasses and my wallet? No, I just say, can I put my sunglasses? Okay, guys, you know you do this. But then on the other hand, the husband job is to hold the purse.
I never make you hold my purse.
Give me a break.
Ever. Unless I'm getting a picture taken.
That is not true.
Then I say to him, can you just hold my purse for a second?
That is just a blatant lie that I've never held your... Come on.
You have never walked with my purse. I've seen guys hold a purse and actually walk with a purse. He would never walk with
I
a
wouldn't
purse.
walk with it.
Well, that's
I
what
hold,
it means.
I hold, like I'm saying, I hold the purse while you're doing something.
Exactly. I said that. If I say to him, can you just hold this purse? Sometimes I just put it over his shoulder. Can you just hold this purse?
And it's very heavy because it's got the JBL speaker in it. I'm gonna take the JBL speaker every time I get out of the car. Not a chance.
So the only thing when we go out at night and I take my clutch, it's, you know, a smaller little
wee
purse.
purse.
Then Zach goes, oh, can I put my glasses in there? You cannot. They will not fit. Sorry, Zach. Okay, GR Corolla, FL5 Type R or MK 8.5 Golf R.
What are they again?
GR Corolla, Type R, Civic Type R, or the Golf R. I know what Zach's going to pick.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to pick.
I already know.
I'm going to say Type R because it's got a manual. I mean, the Corolla is fun, but it's just a Corolla on the inside. It's so disappointing. Like, could they have done anything to it other than the seats?
That's missing features. Like, you pay a hefty price point for
yeah.
that. I get it for the performance. But it's just like when you're in it, you're kind of thinking to yourself, wow, it's just really basic inside.
Okay, so the Golf R, because there's no more manual anymore, I'm going Type R.
I'm going Type R.
I know what Andrew's going to say. I'm going to throw one in there for you. What about Integra, the Type S?
Integra Type S. I go Integra Type S, but I know that's a little bit more expensive. Well, Golf R is up there.
Yeah, Golf R is. But if you're driving, if you're in the automatic world, which you wouldn't get with the Honda,
no,
and you can now in the GR, then I would go Golf R all day. But it's just that Civic, and plus the resale value on the Civic is going to be killer.
You know, my favorite manual, Honda or Acura. Fantastic. And then I also love Mazda.
It's now officially summer. It happened a week ago. Summer's officially here.
Yeah.
And we did a little sneak preview of our summer sale, but now it's officially underway. We're in the full sale. We are giving away subscriptions to this channel absolutely free at no cost to you. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. And what are the benefits for the people who subscribe, Andrea?
Well, you get all of this glorious content of new vehicles, but also questions, coffee, and cars.
Yeah, it's all free.
It's all free.
Summer, limited time only.
Do you think the Lexus RX 350h is better value than the Lexus RZ or RZ, debating between full EV and hybrid? Okay, look.
Don't bury the lead, Andrea. What's happening next week?
Oh, yeah. We're going to Portugal to drive the new RZ.
Yeah, next week in Portugal.
You know, we do
We'll
say Z. We say Z in Canada.
We'll be in the Algarve.
We'll be in the Algarve. This is the thing. I get the whole
Here's the
EV.
thing. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. The whole EV experience, I think, is great too. I can understand why people love it, but depreciation is very high. I think that Lexus has done a nice job, as has Toyota, with their electric vehicle updating it now. It had like a lack of power, lack of range, lack of charging. So it's much improved, but I just think the resale value on the RX is going to be so much better for you.
Was it NX or RX?
It was RX.
Oh, yeah. RX, yeah. Lexus hybrids are just so reliable, and they're sought after, and it's just a bigger vehicle. It's a nice car.
It's a nice car.
Yeah.
By the way, if you go to a dealership, you'll be able to get that RZ.
Yes, that's...
The RX 350h
may be tricky, and that's maybe why they're asking the question, because... And don't buy the current one. If you're going to get the electric one, wait till we drive it in a week.
Yeah.
Wait for our video to come out and then get that one, because they've updated a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe not so much from the looks on the outside, but they have to the powertrain.
Let's do one more. The recent Passport shows Honda is capable of adding current features like ventilated front seats, panoramic roof. Does this bode well for future iterations of the CR-V? I think so.
Yeah, well, this CRV that's coming out for 2026 is a placeholder car.
Yeah.
I think trying to remember the cadence of when they came out, but RAV4 is going to come out for 2026 next year, and it's about 18 months later. CRV gets the update, or 2 years. So that car that's being updated for 2026 with slight changes to the interior is a placeholder car. It's going to be probably 2 years.
Why they didn't add a panoramic sunroof and ventilated front seats and a 360 camera?
I bet it's coming for the next one, though.
It's crazy.
They're treading water. They're in the tread water stage.
Yeah.
Are you going to go swimming in the Algarve? Are you going to get the Atlantic,
Yes.
though?
I need a new suit, though. I need a new bathing suit.
Yeah, but you got to know it's not the Mediterranean. It's the Atlantic, so it's cold.
I'm going to go to the pool.
Oh, the pool.
At
okay.
the hotel.
Okay. Can't wait for that. Do you guys want pictures? All right. How do you get a question in, Andrea?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put a post out on Instagram asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.